Good morning, it's day 87. Oh, disturbing the horses. Kennedy Meadows Resort and Pack Station. I'm just south of Sonora Pass. This is going to be my last water source for nearly 10 miles, so I'm going to have to come out of here with at least a couple liters and be cameled up. Hope to make maybe a total of 15 miles today. I took a look at the profile. I'm going to be going over 11,000 feet, which is going to be the highest point that I will reach until actually after I'm through Yosemite Park. The boundary, Donahue Pass, the boundary between Yosemite Park and Kings Canyon, is just a little bit over that. One of the first sort of high passes. So I'm going to get the water here. A couple things. I have my new shoes, and these are the ones recommended by Blaze of Blaze Physio. These are the Olympus 5s. They have more padding, according to her, more cushioning. Not sure how I feel about these. First thing, they have a much more aggressive tread, which I think I made a picture of that, so I can show that. And going from one model to the next, the lacing is a little bit different. I might have to, I may end up using the heel lock, but I kind of don't like to do that because it just presses a little bit too much here. It has a higher, I'm not sure what this is called, the heel counter maybe. This is higher than the Lone Peaks are. But I'm finding my heel slipping up a little bit. So we'll see how this goes. I very nearly packed out my old Lone Peaks just in case I don't like these. But we'll, in the event, I just said, no, don't be silly. My pack. So I was quite proud of myself today when I could get my bear canister inside my pack. I tried lashing on top and it was flopping around, and I kind of didn't like that. So I only have basically a 4-day, 3.5-day food carry here. So the one coming out of Mammoth, the food carry coming out of Mammoth, is going to be significantly larger than that. Not sure what I'm going to do there. I may just have like an auxiliary food bag on top. I might put my tent on top, something like that. Another thing about this pack, though, that I will show you now. Normally, these things are supposed to bow. So these are 2 carbon fiber stays, and there's a metal stay across the top here, and you can cinch it down, and there's a web back panel here. Well, a couple weeks ago, the one of these got cut, and I haven't had a chance to sew it back together again. I wasn't really using it in a bowed configuration anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter. But right now, this is not carrying great with the canister in here, just because everything is so jammed down in here. And what that ends up doing is actually pulling my shoulders up wider apart. Have I got that right? Actually, that's kind of not right. Anyway, so it puts more pressure on my shoulder, my left shoulder, where I have a torn rotator cuff that just aches when I carry too much, or when, after a while of carrying anything, really. So that's sort of an equipment update, and I'll just leave that for the time being. It's very windy. Trail goes here, up through there, and over. Let's see what we see there. I seem to recall a snowfield from 4 years ago. Let's see if I remember correctly. Yeah, I can see where the trail does cross that. Well, 2 snowfields here. So let me zoom in here a little bit. So the trail goes right here. I think you can see right there. And then on the upper one, it goes up above. And let's see how that is. I don't have any traction, but I'm guessing that the sun cups are going to be deep enough there that it shouldn't be too bad. We'll see. Okay, the lower snowfield was actually 2 snowfields. Went through it no problem. It was essentially a traverse. This one is an ascension here. The snow is very well consolidated. My trekking poles go in just fine. The downside of it being, quote, consolidated is that it's slippery. And it's a little hard to kick some steps, but not impossible. So this will just be, you know, I have to take care, but I think it'll be fine. Now this is the downward part. This is not steep at all, but I would say the steep uphill part was just as fast and probably just as safe as if it had been a dry talus slope. Going uphill, I could see on the steep part would be easier than going down it, because I could test each step and if it was going to hold my weight, you know, before I put the full weight on it. When you go downhill, you tend to, it's hard to do that, especially me. I'm just not flexible enough. So anyway, it's all pretty straightforward. I'm about 7 miles away from the boundary to Yosemite Park.